Hey, good morning, yogis. I'm Kathy, and today for our on-demand yoga, we're going to do yoga for runners. So that's going to mean a lot of leg, glute, and hip opening postures. So let's get started. So come into an easy seat. We'll start with our hands on our knees. We're going to loosen up the back and the core a little bit before we get into our lower body stretches. So hands on the knees, we're going to do some seated cats and cows. So you've probably done cat and cow on your all fours, but this you can get a little bit deeper into the lower back. So inhale, cow, pull the shoulders back, push the chest forward, pull the tailbone back so that you're making kind of a C with your back, facing back. And if you want to, you can take your head back as well. Exhale, cat, rounding the back, chin to chest, making a C in the opposite direction. Inhale, cow, pulling those shoulder blades together. Exhale, cat. Couple more on your own breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. And coming back to a nice straight spine, crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling, shoulders down. Let's take some shoulder shrugs or circles. So shoulders coming up to the ears, back, down the back, and then front. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, up. Exhale, back and down. And then reverse it. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward and back and down. Inhale, up. Back and down. Inhale, up. And back and down. Alrighty. So now we'll get started with our yoga for runners. Coming into a seat where your knees are as wide as your mat. We're preparing for child's pose here. Your booty is on your heels, and you're going to bring your hands in between your knees, trying to keep the booty on the heels. So walking your hands ahead of you, just crawling forward nice and slow, breathing deeply, noticing if and when the booty comes off the heels. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it does. Coming down, hands are out like Superman arms forward, forehead to the mat. Elbows are up off the mat in this active first child's pose. You can sway side to side, pushing into one hand, then the other, trying to get that tailbone back, booty on the heels. And when you're done, coming into stillness, let's take 3 breaths here. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 5. One more. Inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale for 6. Get all the air out on that exhale, pulling the belly to the spine to release all of the stale air. And this is the first active hip opening pose we're going to take. So we're going from child's pose and we're moving forward into like a modified upward dog. So knees remain bent, heels coming toward the booty, chest forward, shoulders back, pelvis toward the ground. Back into child's pose. Inhale into your modified upward dog, feeling the stretch in the front of the hips. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale into your modified up dog. Exhale, child's pose. One more. Inhale, modified up dog. Back into your child's pose. Take an inhale and an exhale. And come up onto all fours into your tabletop position. Take some cats and cows here if you need it. Otherwise, you can just make a big rotation with your body, making a big circle, booty coming all the way almost to touch the heels, and then coming forward with your chest straight ahead, keeping your neck neutral. Take a couple in one direction, couple in the other, or take your cats and cows if that's more comfortable for you. Alrighty, from here, bring that right foot forward to meet the hand. Right foot is parallel to the side of the mat. Left foot is going to scooch back, toenails to the ground, coming into your runner's lunge. So hands come up. They can come to directly behind that right knee, one hand on top of the other. Nice straight spine, crown of the head toward the ceiling. Or you can bring your hands up and your gaze up. Doesn't matter to me. For the stretch, actually, the hands on the knee or the thigh is sometimes better because you can give yourself a little assist. So once you're here, push that pelvis forward and down. You don't want your knee over the toe, but you want to sort of push that right knee toward the big toe, making sure that the knee is right on top of the ankle till you feel the pull in the front of the left upper thigh and hip. Shoulder blades back. Inhale. Exhale. Try to get a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to the mat. Bring your left hand to about the center of the mat. Sweep your right hand up, palm facing away from you. Gaze follows that hand. Little twist here in your runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you like, you can take that arm behind you, grabbing your shirt or maybe the top of your hip and pulling your chest toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring that arm up and hand comes down. Now bring your toes to the outside of outside the side of your mat. So your foot is at an angle now. It's at about a 45-degree angle. And we'll take some dynamic movement here. So walking your hands back into half splits, flexing that right foot, getting a pull in the hamstring. You can go as far back as you like. Just don't go into full splits just yet. We'll get to the hold in a second. Moving forward back into lizard. Pelvis heavy, chest forward, straight ahead, shoulder blades back. Inhale, half splits, hard flex. Exhale, lizard, pelvis down, chest forward. Inhale, half splits. Exhale, lizard. And now turn to the right side. Bring your right hand to the inside of the right thigh, coming onto the blade edge of that right foot and pushing very gently so that your right knee is pushing toward the floor. You're not going to get there, obviously. And then twist. You're pretty heavy into your left hand. Gaze goes up, feeling the stretch in the outer thigh, this time in the glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the sole of your foot, both hands on the mat, and come into full lizard, whatever that means for you. So full lizard, starting with pelvis getting very heavy, almost as if you're trying to touch the mat with your booty, shoulder blades back, chest forward, gaze forward. You can stay here. If you need a little bit more, you can come down to one forearm or the other forearm. And the more you walk those forearms forward, so inching them closer to the top of the mat, the more you'll get the stretch in the quad and in the inner thigh on the right side. So we'll take 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Go to your edge, inhale, exhale. And if you're on your forearms, walk your hands back, bringing your right heel to the ground and then coming back into tabletop position. And we'll do all of that now on the left side. Before we get there, you can take whatever movement in this tabletop you would like. I'm going to take a puppy, so that is what I will speak to. So tailbone in the air, moving, walking those hands forward like Superman arms, bringing the chin to the ground. Maybe your chest reaches the ground. Just inching those hands forward while your tailbone pulls up like somebody has a string attached to it and is pulling your tailbone to the ceiling. Nice back stretch. One inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, move it back into your tabletop. And then we'll come to the other side. Left foot steps forward, right outside the left hand. Blade edge of the foot is parallel to the mat. Right leg scooches back. You're kind of on the top of that knee. Coming up, you can either have one hand on top of the other on the left thigh, or you can come all the way up into modified crescent lunge. Either one fine. The idea here is heavy in the pelvis. Pelvis tilts forward, chest forward, gaze forward. Really feeling the stretch in the front of the quad. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. Bring your right arm down for that little twist. Left arm goes up, palm facing away from you, gaze goes up. Just take a little twist here in the interval. If you want to, you can bring that left arm behind you, elbow bent, grabbing your shirt or your pants and pushing into the right hand, getting that chest up toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring that arm up if it's behind you. Exhale, bring it down. Now we'll turn the left foot so the heel is on the mat and the toes are off at a 45-degree angle, like 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Maybe readjusting that right leg back. We're going to come into half splits, back into lizard, a little dynamic movement here. So walking the hands back, half splits, nice hard flex in that left foot, forward, lizard pose, pelvis heavy, chest forward, half splits, inhale, exhale, lizard, inhale, hard flex, exhale, lizard, inhale, hard flex. Go as far back as you like. The farther you pull your tailbone back, the more you'll get into that left hamstring, lizard, and come into your lizard hold. Nice and heavy in the pelvis, as if you're trying to touch the mat with your booty. If you need more, coming down to your forearms,
Stretching them forward. Now I'm less flexible on this side. I can't go as far out as I did on the other side. That's okay, just to the point where you feel the pull in the right quad and the left inner thigh. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If you're down on your forearms, come up on your hands. Coming to the blade edge of that left foot, taking the left hand onto the inside of the left thigh and a little bit of a twist here. Heavy body weight into the right side, the hand and the leg as you twist and push that left knee out and down, feeling the stretch here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, bring it back to center, left leg goes back. Take your knees together and coming into a child's pose, restorative child's pose, forehead on the ground, hands by your feet, palms up, and take some breaths here. One more resting breath. And then curl your toes under, plant your hands, coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling out your dog by coming to the tippy toes of your left foot and pushing your right foot down, then tippy toes on your right foot and pushing the left heel down and just pedaling it out, getting into the calves here, maybe into the back of the knees. Tilting that tailbone up, gaze is through your legs, chest is pushing towards your thigh. And come into a static downward dog. Take a breath. Come heavy into the right side of your body, so the right foot and the right hand. Three-legged dog, raise your left leg up. And then bend your knee, open up your hips, gaze comes under the left armpit. You can't see the top of my knee, but you can take some dynamic bend and open on the knee on that side. But mostly what you want to do is get heavy on the right side as if that left leg is a dead weight. Bring the knee up a little bit more, opening up that front hip. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Three-legged dog, straight out, hips in line, left leg comes down. Come down to your knees, tabletop or child's pose. One inhale, one exhale. Pushing into your hands, curling your toes under back to your downward dog. Heavy into the left side of your body, three-legged dog on the right. Right leg goes up. Bend the right knee, gaze goes under the right armpit. You can take some movement here, straightening and bending the right leg to get some flexibility. And then nice and heavy into the left side. Feel the pull at the front of the hip. Maybe raise that knee up a little bit. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, straighten that leg, hips in line. Come back to downward dog, leg goes down. Come to your knees and come to an easy seat at the middle of your mat. Bring your legs out in front of you and just give them a shake. We're going to take a little bit of a dynamic figure four here. So bending the right knee, left ankle comes directly behind the right knee. So you're in kind of a figure four, usual figure four shape. Hands are behind you, and you're going to move. So on your booty, moving to the left and then to the right. Maybe you touch, maybe you don't. But just opening up the hip here before we get into pigeon pose. Pick a couple more on this side and then switch legs. So left on the ground, right ankle behind left knee, hands behind you, and take that rotation. This is a nice little massage for the glutes as well. If you ever have a cramp or a knot in your glutes, this is a great stretch. And when you're done, legs out in front of you, give them a shimmy. And coming back to your tabletop, and then to your downward dog. Lifting that right leg up. Coming into pigeon, right shin comes on the ground, right knee is on the right side of your mat, right toes are on the left side of your mat, toes are facing down. So if you're very flexible, you can have your shin parallel to the top of your mat. So most people have to have it at an angle, including me. So coming into your upright pigeon, hands are on either side of your mat. Your spine is straight, your chest is straight ahead, shoulder blades back, gaze is straight ahead. Inhale, exhale. If you have trouble with pigeon and your right glute in this pose is very high up off the ground, you can just wedge a block in there, or you can take a towel and put it in there, or you can just let gravity help you if if it's not too intense a stretch. Take your right hand into the middle of your mat, right in the middle of your right shin. Bend that left leg, reach back with your left arm. If you have mermaid, come into mermaid. If not, just pull that left heel to the left butt cheek, straightening out. If you had to bend toward the left to grab that foot, come back so that your chest is center, your hips are center, and the more you pull that heel to the butt cheek, the more you'll get into that left quad. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, release, and come into your full supine pigeon. You can come down into your forearms, or you can come all the way down with your arms straight out in front of you and your forehead on the mat, or anything in between. We're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. So get somewhere where you feel a stretch, but you're not going to be screaming. And just hold and breathe. In this position in particular, you want to sort of let go. Just stop clenching your jaw, stop scrunching your face. Inhale, exhale, let everything go. Inhale, exhale, let everything go. And come back onto your forearms. And then back onto your hands. Curl those left toes under and come back into downward dog. Pedaling it out, getting some movement. And then lifting your left leg up, three-legged dog. Bringing it in for your pigeon. Left shin on the mat, left toes on the mat. Left knee on the left side of the mat. Upright pigeon first. So scooching that right leg back. If you need the help in the left, you don't want to be all the way over to the left. You really want your hips square here. That's how you get the stretch. So if you need it, you can just shove a block right underneath there. Or you can just let gravity do its thing. but you want to be straight ahead, chest forward, gaze forward. Your hips are like headlights facing forward. Plant your left hand in the middle of the mat directly in front of your left shin. If you can, reach back for that left leg, for that right leg with the right hand. Come back to squared hips. Hips are straight ahead, chest is straight ahead. You have mermaid here, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, just pull that right heel to the right butt cheek till you feel the stretch in the front of that quad. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, go as far as you can, exhale, let it go without boomeranging, nice and gentle on the ground, and then coming into whatever your fullest expression of supine pigeon is. Maybe different on this side than it is on the other side. And once you get there, we will hold it for 30 seconds. Let go. Stop scrunching your shoulders. Try and consciously let go of your glute here. And there's your 30 seconds. Come back on your forearms if you were all the way out. Back onto your hands. Curl the right toes under and back into your downward dog. Taking whatever movement you need to take here. And coming into a quiet downward dog with no movement, just enjoying the pose. And then lifting the heels high, both heels high, and then both heels turn to the right. So your feet, your toes are facing the left, your heels are toward the right, and push into that down dog, chest toward the thighs, sacrum toward the ceiling. Nice stretch in the right leg. Inhale, come high on your toes. And then go to the other side. Toes are pointing to the right now. Heels are to the left. Reassert the pose. Chest toward thighs, pushing into the hands. Gaze at the knees or the calves. Tailbone toward the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come high on your toes. And then heels drop, downward dog. Knees come to the mat. And we come into our tabletop for a moment. And then we're going to roll over onto our backs. Bring our knees to our chest. And you can rock side to side. You can take circles with your knees. They can go in different directions. They can go in the same direction. Just vary it up. Just get some looseness in that lower back. And then for our final glute stretch, I have two options for us. We're going to be in tabletop position on our backs. We can take a figure 4 here. So left ankle directly underneath the right knee, and then threading the needle, grabbing the hamstring on either side with the hands, left elbow digging into that left thigh, and pulling the right leg in as you push the left leg out. That's one possible pose. The other possible is from your tabletop. You take your left leg and you cross your legs like you're, sitting cross-legged position. And then if you can, grabbing your feet, either the top of your feet or by your the arch of your feet, and then just pulling the knees towards you. This is a more intense glute stretch, so if you can't get here, just do the figure 4. That's fine. Either way, inhale, Exhale, pull everything in. Or if you're in the figure 4, pulling on that right leg as you push out onto the left thigh with your elbow. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, release, roll up, come to sitting on the sort of juicy part of your booty, your hands behind you, and we'll windshield wiper. Both knees this time. And the more weight you put into your booty, the more release you will get in that glute. And when you're done giving your glutes some love, come back to your back, and we'll do the other side. So tabletop, right leg, right ankle directly underneath left. So on the other side, I did the cross-legged pose. On this side, I'll do the figure 4. This is the figure 4 position. Right hand goes through that little space between your legs. Left hand is on the outside. They meet to grab your hamstring. Right elbow into the right thigh. That's your figure 4. If you want to do the cross-legged pose, this time right leg comes over left. You reach up, you grab your feet wherever you can. You can also just grab your big toes if that helps. But really it's the pose works best if you can get a hold of your feet and pull your knees to your chest. That'll get you right in the right glute. But here I'm going to do the figure 4. Here I am with my right ankle directly under my left knee, threading the needle, meeting at the hamstring, right elbow into right inner thigh, pulling in the left thigh as you poke that right inner thigh with the right elbow, pushing the right leg out as the left leg comes in. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and release. Now bring your feet so that you can just touch your ankles. Your knees are bent. You're coming into a bridge pose, but we're going to do kind of a dynamic bridge. So arms overhead, and booty comes up to your bridge with your arms overhead. Gaze is straight up to the ceiling. Inhale, booty comes up, arms stretch out. Exhale, hands come down to your hips, booty comes down. Inhale, up with the arms, up with the booty. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Bring your knees to your chest. Bring your soles of the feet together, and then bring everything to the ground. For cobbler's pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. Extra bonus shoulder stretch can happen if you bring your arms to goalpost arms, so it's like you're making robot arms and then bringing them down to the ground, opening up the chest. Or you can do a more restorative pose with your hands on your belly, or one hand on your heart and one on your belly. You can take a couple of dynamic movements in supine cobbler's pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring your knees together, knees apart, knees together, knees apart, knees together, knees apart. If you want a little bit more, you can give yourself a small assist on the inside of your thighs. Just pulling those hips open a little bit. Maybe one big inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands to the outside of your thighs. Pull those knees together. Bring your legs out straight. Take a good morning stretch, arms overhead, pulling in opposite directions, toes are pointed. It's like you're trying to pull your body apart from the waist. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, release everything. Toes fall open. Hands can come to your heart and belly, or to your belly. You can feel your breathing that way. It's very relaxing. Or they can come down by your sides, palms up or palms down. Shavasana. Take one big inhale. Exhale, let everything go. Close your eyes. Focus on the space between your eyebrows, what yogis call your third eye. It's the center of creativity. It's also a very relaxing point to focus on. And I think I've gone a little bit over time, yogis, so take as much time in Shavasana as you need. Shavasana is always the part of the practice I see a lot of people skimping on, and you really shouldn't. It really is time for your body to sort of download everything that you've done in the practice. So I welcome you to stay here for 2 minutes at least. Give yourself that time. As always, it is my honor to guide you in this practice. I see the light in every one of you, and I bow down to it. Namaste. Have a beautiful week, yogis, and I will see you next week.